Hi, I'm Lougallagher.
I'm Corvette.ronnie.
Next up, we've got Men Are So Smart news.
Dealing with O.J. Simpson.
That happens next on Men Are So Smart. A parole hearing for former football star O.J. Simpson, serving time in a Nevada prison for a 2008 robbery and kidnapping conviction, has been set for July the 20th. The Nevada Board of Parole Commissions announced on Tuesday. Simpson, famously acquitted in a sensational double murder trial that gripped America 2 decades ago. I can't believe it was that long ago.
That is hard to imagine.
He was sentenced to as much as 33 years in prison for a bungled 2007 attempt in Las Vegas to recover memorabilia from his storied sports career.
If granted parole at next month's hearing, he will remain in custody until at least October 1st, parole officials said. Simpson, who is now 70 years old, will appear. I know, that's crazy.
Oh my.
The juice is spoiled. Will appear for a hearing through a video feed from Lovelock Correctional Center, about 100 miles northeast of Carson City,
Oh, so
the state capital.
they don't even let him out for that.
No, they don't. They just don't. They're not that interested.
The rest of us may be. If the 4 parole commissioners who are scheduled to conduct the hearing can't agree unanimously on whether to release him or not, the remaining 3 members will be contacted immediately to review the case and vote until there is a majority for approval or denial. The board, in 2013 granted Simpson parole on several of the charges related to his conviction, namely kidnapping, robbery, and burglary. But he remained ineligible for time still to be served on charges of assault with a deadly weapon and related sentencing issues.
O.J., who obviously is one of the greatest running backs in NFL league in the 70s, was found guilty by a Nevada jury of all 12 charges against him for storming into a Las Vegas hotel room with 5 cohorts and holding 2 sports merchandise dealers at gunpoint, then making off with thousands of dollars in collectibles.
Holy cow. The 4 other men originally charged all pleaded guilty. His 2008 conviction came exactly 13 years after his controversial 1995 acquittal in L.A. of the murder of his ex-wife, Nicole Brown Simpson, and her friend Ron Goldman.
Coincidence?
We'll get into this. Let's get into it now. You know, those of you that are old enough to remember when this was happening, it was a media frenzy. And the day that the white Bronco chase took place, it was on every channel available.
Yeah.
Everyone was covering this. You know, it was just different versions of helicopter feeds. That's all there was to it. And it as they say, it really
kind of took on a life of its own. It really just
whole country.
Yeah.
And what I remember my take being on this was, there's just no way that O.J. Simpson, one of the greatest running backs I ever saw as a kid, could have done something this awful.
Yeah.
There's just no way. But guess what? In, again, IMHO, this was the end of the innocence.
Yeah.
This, 20 years ago, really opened the door to viral media.
You know what? It really was. I want to say that, I mean, this way predates Facebook, obviously, but holy cow, it just, and every day, and we have, I'll never forget, my kids were in middle school at the time, or I think elementary school, and one of the other dads, he was unemployed and not working, and he knew every single in and out of this trial. He said, there's overwhelming evidence. There's no way they can find him not guilty. But you know what? This being the United States and the greatest nation in the world, you have a chance. And obviously, as guilty as he was or wasn't, he was found not guilty.
Well, now, you said you have a chance, Ronnie, and I take issue with that. The only way that you have a chance is if you have bigger attorneys. The dream team.
But there was also a lot of mishandling of evidence by the police department there.
Talk about bungle.
Yeah, there were a lot of mistakes made that really cost them this case. as much as Marcia Clark did a really nice job of trying it, Mark Furman was very big in this case, and some of his mistakes in dealing with some of the evidence, it cost him. But what I can't help to think is that so many people in the world probably thought, like, all right, dude got away with it, he's not getting away with this one.
Karma.
It's karma came back and bit him.
I think that's the only way that you can look at this.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, my feeling of he couldn't have done this did change. My feeling is that there's no one else that could have done this.
Because they would have found the person by now.
Yeah, or OJ would have found him, for God's sakes.
Yeah, because he was looking.
Well, he was on a mission.
Boy, he tried every golf course there was.
Every one.
That murder was not out on the golf course.
No.
No.
Yeah, that makes sense that this might be karma. But if it's karma, should we parole him? I have a lot of good questions today, Ron.
Yeah, at some point, you got to let the guy go. And my understanding is he's not a picture of health right now. So maybe before he becomes a tremendous burden on the state, kick him out and let his family, if they will have anything to do with him, I'm not sure, let his family take care of him in his final years.
I wonder how much money he actually does have. And I guess when I say that, I'm thinking really wealthy people have offshore investments that are protected.
Right, because he was not found guilty of the criminal charges, but he was found guilty in a civil court, and it cost him millions of dollars.
Which I understand they have not even begun to even knock the dust off of,
right,
in terms of payments.
Right. So in terms of what he can earn, it's all got to be under the table type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to be able to go to work at Walmart and be a greeter there, because all that money he makes is going to go right back to the golden family.
And what about if he starts serving up the memorabilia?
Well, technically, all that stuff has to be taxed also and accounted for. So even if he starts reselling some of that material, he's going to have to pay the victims' families.
Doesn't sound like much of a life, does it?
Well, I'm sure it's better than sitting in prison.
O.J. Simpson back in the news after 20 years. Who would have thought?
Not me.
Do you think that he'll be paroled?
I think they probably will. If they don't this time, I believe his next parole hearing, he probably will be paroled.
Well, if so, he'll be released on October 1st of this year.
Yeah, could be your neighbor.
That's one neighbor this guy doesn't want to have. All right, that wraps up another edition of Men Are So Smart. At the bottom in our description here, we'll see if we can link some information to the low speed chase video.
Oh yeah.
That was, it was so funny.
What was his buddy's name? Cowling?
Al Cowling. Yeah, that was it. Yeah, he was the driver, allegedly.
Yeah.
I still don't know.
I got OJ in my car. Yeah.
Do you have any vodka to go with it? All right. If you enjoyed the video, I hope you did. We had fun making it. Be sure and give us your comments on O.J. Simpson, the trial, the memorabilia thing, his parole.
Was he
guilty?
guilty?
Well, yeah. Well, how do you feel?
What do you think?
And you'll find the links below to our Facebook page. You'll find the links to our blogs. It's all down there. If you liked the video, please give it a like. And if you're enjoying the series, we're coming up on 50 episodes.
Dang.
Please be sure and subscribe to the channel. It's really important to us, and we would appreciate it. I'm Lou Gallagher.
I'm Corvette Ronnie.
That wraps up another edition of Men Are So Smart. We'll see you next time, okay? Okay.
Bye-bye.
It's a date.